Today, a brand new recipe. We're cooking tortaglioni pasta with a sage, sausage and white wine cream sauce. This one is outrageous. Let's do it. And so for this recipe, I'm going to be doing all the preparation ready to cook. Mise en place, as it's known in cooking. Have everything organised and ready to go. So the cooking is as easy as possible. So the first step, make sure your knife is in good condition. Use a honing steel as often as possible to keep it sharp. And the first ingredient for this one, we want an onion. So you want to chop the top off your onion, off with the top, flat side down, and cut it in half. Remove the skins, and if necessary, that first tougher layer of the onion. And then just the usual. Cut across the onion. We want the onions to be fairly fine, but it's a rustic dish, so it doesn't matter too much. Diced onion with the sausage will give it a granular kind of texture. Hard to explain, but you know what I mean. And then quickly and confidently cut down, and we want this fairly fine in terms of the dice. The onion is going to add texture to the sauce. Same again. So get that onion diced up nicely. Then once you're done, you want to pop the onion into a bowl. There we go. Our onion. So it's ready to chuck straight into the pan when we need it. And ready for the pan. And the next ingredient, garlic. The trick I always use for garlic is cut in this way. Follow that round. Just make a little cut in the other side. And then you can pull that straight open. And for this one, I'm going to be quite heavy-handed with my garlic, to be honest. The garlic is quite small, so I want about 5 cloves or 3 cloves if you're using a regular big-sized garlic bulb. Sometimes I use more, sometimes less. Really depends on the kind of recipe it is. It's really creamy. The only other big flavours in there are going to be sausage, basically, and the sage. And these are quite small cloves, so I'm going to go with 5 and a little bit, maybe 5 and 2 little bits. Another little trick. Take off each end of the garlic. Tiny little tap, just give it a slight crush, and that will just pop right off. This is some organic garlic that I found at a farm shop the other day, and it's tiny, which can sometimes be the case with organic. Well, I mean, most of the time it'll be smaller, but sometimes some of the organic produce you find is absolutely tiny. Not necessarily a problem, just for things like garlic, can be a bit more fiddly. This would probably be 3 regular cloves if it was a decent sized bulb, but I'm not going to complain. I'm sure it's going to taste great. Garlic, we're going to go relatively fine with the garlic. A bit smaller than your onion, but really, if you want, you can slice the onion. You can even grate it with a microplane if you want it almost like a garlicky paste. Some of you in the comments may mention that Italians don't put that much garlic in their dishes. Possibly not. I think it really does depend on the dish and on the palate. But to be honest, this is my dish anyway that I came up with, so I can use as much or as little as I like. And for me, I think this one really benefits from a nice garlicky hit. Once your garlic is diced up, as with the onion, that goes into a bowl. Stick it to one side and stick it to one side, ready for the pan. Right. There we have it. Garlic done. Next up, one of the most beautiful herbs with an amazing aroma. One of my all-time favourite herbs. We want some fresh sage. And so for the sage, you just want to pick off the leaves. Discard the stems. Right, there we go. So kind of bunch this together so they're relatively lengthways. And we want to dice up the sage into thin strips almost. So bunch it up with your hands and then slice it through that sage, cutting it nice and thin. And there we go. We're not going massively fine with the sage. We want it to almost be in these kind of strips or ribbons. The smell coming off this sage. And then pop your sage into a small bowl, and that also goes to one side. Beautiful. And the last ingredient we want is, for this one, we're going with some really good quality Old English butcher's sausages. And what I'm actually going to do here, to be honest, just so there's a little bit less washing up to do, is I'm going to take the sausage, score the skin, remove the skins, and I'm just going to pop the meat back in the bag from the butcher. There we go. That is our de-skinned, Old English, proper butcher's sausages. Amazing. We are ready to cook. Pop a pan on the hob. Make sure it's a good high-walled frying pan. We want the heat around medium. You want to add a splash of olive oil to the pan. Get all your ingredients together and ready to go. Everything we're going to need. Get that lot ready. First up, our onions. Chuck in our onion. Give those a little season. And we want to sweat down the onion without any colour, getting it nice and soft and sweet. Coat those in the olive oil and the seasoning. Keep the heat fairly low. What we want to do to begin with is sweat down the onions. We don't want any colour on them. We just want them really nice, sweet, translucent. Be patient. So fry off your onion. Keep stirring it. Keep a close eye. You can adjust the heat as you go, just to make sure we don't get any roastiness on the onion. No colour at all. That's the noise we want to hear at this point. Very gentle sort of sizzling away. There we go. You can see they're getting nice and translucent now. Look at that. They're getting soft. This is probably going to take you about 10 to 15 minutes. And once your onion is really nice and soft, we're ready for our garlic. All right, we are basically there. So at this point, our garlic is going in. So chuck that in there. And literally another couple of minutes just to sweat off that garlic. Give that a good stir through. And like I said, literally 1 or 2 more minutes just to sweat that garlic down a touch, but without any colour, as with the onion. So stir away, keep it moving, don't let it catch. And then after a few minutes, right, there we go. Garlic's been in about 2 or 3 minutes. And a little trick, just so we can cook everything exactly as we need it, we're going to remove this, pop that to one side. Then we're going to caramelise our sausage meat, because we want to cook that at a higher temperature than we do the onions and garlic. So these come out, sausage goes in. As soon as we're ready for the rest of the ingredients, post caramelisation of the sausage, that's when we'll chuck this lot back in. Make sure you get out all of the onions, or at least do the best job you can. We don't want any bits in there burning in an ideal world. So use your spatula, or maurice as they're known. Pop that back on the heat. We'll stick those to one side. To get out those last few bits, you can use a little bit of kitchen paper rather. There we go. So we have a pretty clean pan. Still a bit of oil in there, so those onions are really sweet. There's still some oil in there, so get your heat back on, kind of medium-ish. Next up, our sausage meat goes in. That goes in the pan. And as soon as that is in the pan, start to break it up a little bit. We want a little touch more oil. Break up the sausage constantly. We want it really fine, almost like a sausage mincemeat. So just keep breaking it up, keep working it. We want the heat a little bit higher, a good solid medium, and we want to get some nice caramelization on there. Color is flavor. Once you're ready, we're going to deglaze the pan with some white wine. And I like to be quite generous with the white wine for this one. It adds a beautiful sweetness and flavor and works really, really well. So pour in the wine, juice that down for a few moments. We want to get it nice and syrupy and sweet and delicious. There we go, look at that. Essentially the wine is gone. It's just all nice and syrupy. Add roughly the same amount of chicken stock. And then we're going to do 2 reductions of some chicken stock to make almost like a double concentrate chicken stock, and it will give it some real good flavour and body. Reduce that down until that is also really nice, sticky and syrupy. We want this sauce to be really intense and with a nice depth of flavour. That's why we're using the chicken stock. You could make this without, but we are going for it with this one. Super rich. So what I'm going to do now that is pretty much a syrup, add a little dash more. And this second reduction is not going to be quite as intense. We want to keep a touch of sauciness to it, but we do want to take that down a bit. Also, we want the heat down a bit more. And at this point, pop back in our onion and garlic. We want to reduce the heat, ready for the cream. So get that in. And as you can see, or as you may have noticed, I haven't seasoned anything other than the onions. The sausage is salty, the stock is also salty. So at the moment, this is probably a touch over seasoned almost, but obviously we're finishing it off with a nice amount of cream. So this is where the magic happens. This is what brings everything together. Cream. Pour in our cream. This is a cream sauce, so be generous. And then we want to reduce down the cream to our desired consistency. Get that to a nice simmer. There's no real rule with this one. You can have it thicker or thinner. That is entirely up to you. I like the consistency at the end to be almost like a bolognese as opposed to a looser kind of sauce, if that makes sense. Also, we want to hit it with the sage at this point, but we want to retain the freshness from the sage. So you want that to go in about 2 minutes before we're done. Stir it through. Black pepper. And then you want to add a nice generous hit of freshly ground black pepper, and to beautifully finish off this sauce, to give it a great lift, to cut through that richness, we want to zest in a lemon. Stir everything through, give it a taste, make any adjustments you need. So what I'm going to do is transfer my sauce into this container here. Careful not to splash. Honestly guys, this sauce really is ridiculous. So next we're going to cook our pasta. Today we're using some lovely tortaglioni, which sits somewhere between penne and rigatoni, works really well for this kind of bolognese-esque sauce. So pop a saucepan onto the hob. And we want this up high. We want to fill the pan with some water. Heavily season your pasta water. Very, very important. I get a few comments here and there saying that I've oversalted the pasta water. Honestly, I never have, never will. The amount of water that gets absorbed into the pasta is very small, so you need a high concentration of salt within that water in order for the water to get into the pasta and for it to be salty, if that makes sense. If we put the same amount of salt into the water that we would typically season the pasta with, then it's going to kind of get lost in all of that water. So we need enough salt in the water to give it the high concentration that we need. So the small amount that's absorbed into the pasta evenly seasons the pasta right the way through, instead of chucking salt on at the end. I mean, you don't have to take my word for it, give it a try. Heavily season your water next time, cook your pasta, taste the pasta by itself without any kind of sauce versus some pasta that you've cooked without any salt, and you'll see it's really bland without. Once the water's boiling, chuck in the pasta as much as you need. Get the lid on, and we want to bring this back up to the boil. And very importantly, you want to cook it for 2 minutes less than the cooking time on the packet. And we're going to finish it off in the sauce, so that's going to be another minute or two of cooking time. So you want to get it out of the water and avoid any mushiness, which is really the enemy of a good pasta dish. Just before we drain the pasta, you want to remove a mug of the pasta water. This is liquid gold. We're going to finish the sauce off with it. We're going to drain this off. Really nice and starchy, that water. Pasta in. And then spoon in some of your sausage and sage cream sauce. Start with a few tablespoons of our sauce. Stir it through, add any more you need. Also hit it with some of that pasta water. Pasta water, hit it with a ladle and a quarter. Add any more of the cream sauce. Definitely going to want a bit more sauce. Toss it up in the pan, give it a stir through, reduce it down a touch, and then to finish off this pasta, we're going to add a nice squeeze of lemon juice to really give it some vibrancy and a good lift. Give it one last good stir, give it a taste, and we're ready to serve. So pile your pasta high on the plate. And there's only one way to finish this one off, and that is with a nice grating of some Parmesan cheese. And there we have the most delicious tortaglioni with a sausage, sage, and white wine cream sauce. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.